Fragment Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, baby, for another episode of Frag Tag Radio. And here with you today are your boys, Pradius
and Matterafact.
Alright, so, first thing before we get into the news, we got a little Xbox 720 rumor roundup going on. There's been a whole crap ton of rumors flying around. You know, first the rumors were that it was going to have to be online, and
scared me.
You couldn't even play any games. Like, the console is pretty much worthless if you don't have an internet connection, and even if you do have an internet connection, you weren't going to be able to play used games because they're blocking used games. And
just a whole nother regime.
Wouldn't be backwards compatible, no way, no how. So hold on to your 360s because they ain't doing that. Oh, well, and then so rumors all this past week have been flowing wildly, actually over the last 2 weeks, pretty much debunking all those horrible rumors.
Yeah.
Saying that, you pretty much don't have to play online, and they're not blocking used games, and word on the street is it is going to be backwards compatible.
Which is good. A good thing.
So, two main articles, one from Games Radar and one from VG Leaks. They're a little bit contradictory at parts, but so going through Games Radar, they've got an anonymous source that came to them and pretty much said, you are not required to be connected to the internet in order to play Durango, Xbox 720, games, and Microsoft were never considering doing such a thing. So,
an anonymous source says.
No idea where those rumors got started, or, who this anonymous guy is. So supposedly he's got ties with Microsoft, possibly an employee there, who knows. The report goes on to back up reports of the system specs, but adds that the Durango will include an Xbox 360 system on a chip, which makes for 100% backwards compatibility with all 360 games, and it will give you additional processing power for other tasks. So, and that part right there is actually the part that I was saying is a little contradictory to the other the rumors that we had from VG Leaks. Sony and Nintendo have been courting these indie developers lately, trying to get some more indie games on their consoles, and Microsoft hasn't really been doing nothing, and people are worried, like, does Microsoft care about games anymore? Do they not care about indie developers?
Yeah.
They're just letting Sony and Nintendo do it? Oh, come on, guys. Chill out.
Relax.
Word on the street is that the Xbox 720 is going to be running a specialized version of Windows 8 that will include the Windows Store, and pretty much any games that are already on the Windows Store will come out on the Windows Store. You would essentially be able to download on your Durango. Why is that good, you ask? Because unlike 360, where you've got to go through a big process to get your game on there, and you got to pay Microsoft a certain amount of money, with Windows 8, it's pretty much free to put your game up on there. As a matter of fact, recently Microsoft has been paying developers to put apps on the Windows 8 store. I think I read it was like $100 per app that you put on the store, with a possibility of getting up to $1,000. So you could essentially put up to 10 apps on the store and get yourself a G.
Nice.
Now, considering the development time it would take for all 10 of those apps, it's not like you'd be making a big profit or anything. Probably not even be recouping your man hours. But it is a small incentive, to get people out there and start developing apps and games for Windows 8. So, I think pretty much they're saying that alone will be the indie developer dream right there, and that little fact alone will put Nintendo and Sony in the dust, because they'll have indie developers coming out the wazoo.
Yeah, and I don't think they ever really did such a good job before.
360 was the first console to really bring indie games to the front market with the Indie Games channel.
Yeah.
When the 360 first came out, it was a prominent part, actually even one of the biggest selling points of the 360 when it first came out. But over the 360's life cycle, they came out with new dashboard updates, and slowly the indie channel kind of got pushed back just a little bit, to where you had to go through a couple extra menus to get to it. But I mean, it's still there. It's still running strong. Unfortunately, it's littered with nothing but Minecraft clones.
Right now, yeah, and that's crazy. I mean, that are zombie games.
Yeah, you go on there and there's like 35 Minecraft clones, 35 zombie games. and four or five of those fake dating simulators.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's essentially, you know, I don't know, man. If they want me to play that stuff, they're gonna have to toss some achievements up there.
Yeah, really.
Which what we've been saying for a while is that they need to add achievements to indie games. It doesn't have to be a lot, like 50G. I mean, would go a long way. I mean, then you know the developer could put 10 achievements up there, 5G a piece.
Yep. There you go.
I mean, even that, you know, just a small incentive to, hey, why don't I load up an indie game? No, why would I do that when I can load up Call of Duty and be getting achievements?
Exactly.
So hopefully they'll get something like that going on. Durango's controller will sport an improved directional pad because, as we know, a lot of people have been hating on the D-pad for the 360, saying that
especially fighting games.
Yeah, saying that that's like the only bad part of an otherwise perfect controller.
It
is the D-pad. So they're redoing the D-pad supposedly to make it top notch, so people will shut the hell up. But otherwise it'll be similar to the 360 controller's design. The report also claims Microsoft will roll out its own 100 Apple TV style set-top competitor, reportedly called the Xbox Mini, which brings us into our report from VG Leaks. The rumors over there, which says Microsoft is working hard on the strategy for the next year as the company wants to expand the Xbox brand with 2 new Xboxes. One would be the next-gen Xbox, and one would be a redesign of the current 360. All right? So take in mind Apple TV or the Wii Mini, and that's what Xbox is thinking of doing in regards to the Xbox Mini. Supposedly, the Xbox Mini is not a 360 add-on. It's a standalone product that would essentially be a 360 in itself. It would be gaming, but it would also be meant to go towards a more casual audience as well. Yeah. It wouldn't sport a disk drive, but it would have all the chipsets that are in the 360 inside of it. And you know, it would be there for like arcade games on demand, like you know, apps like Netflix and Hulu and HBO Go.
I almost want to say that one's almost geared towards just like a more multimedia.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
and that's pretty much where they're going with it. They're saying that it'll probably retail, if rumors are true, it'll probably retail at around $99, so $100 roughly, for that, which really isn't that bad. I mean,
no, not really, considering what you would get.
I've got five 360s, and I'd probably still pick one up.
Yeah.
Just to have it.
Just to have it.
Just to have it.
I got it.
No, I mean, I know not everybody out there is like me, and you know, it's probably gonna. If you've got a couple 360s, you're probably good on that. Won't need it. Me being a collector
of the 360s.
Yes, would probably pick one up.
That wouldn't be bad though.
But good thing about it is that they're also saying on VG Leaks that it will be compatible with the Xbox Durango. Supposedly, according to them, in a sense, you would be able to hook the Xbox Mini into the Xbox Durango and play your arcade games and all your 360 stuff on the Durango through the Xbox Mini. Now, this is where I was saying these two ports are kind of contradicting each other, whereas the Games Radar report is saying that the Durango will have a 360 on a chip, and there won't be a need for the Xbox Mini, that it's just going to be a standalone thing. Whereas this report is saying that Xbox Mini is going to be a standalone thing, but if you want to play your 360 stuff, you're going to need to have one and plug that into the Durango. So it's going to be interesting to see in the coming weeks to have those two rumors cleared up to find out whether the Durango has a 360 on a chip or whether you're going to need the Xbox Mini to go up with it. You know, I'm fine with both ways personally, but I know a lot of people would rather see the 360 on a chip on the Durango itself.
I bet you that would almost probably be another option. Like you have the Durango, and then you have like a different edition of Durango where you don't need the Mini.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be actually a great idea. You know, come out with the Durango with the 360 on a chip, and come out with a cheaper, you know, Durango that doesn't have 360 on a chip but everything else. Yeah. And then the Xbox Mini to be like 3 tiers. So your hardcore gamers get the one with the chip on it, so you got the best of both worlds in one console.
It's probably the most expensive.
You know, you're just coming of age gamers and your new adopters would probably get the regular Durango, and your, you know, every once in a blue moon gamers, really more just there for Netflix type of people, would pick up the Xbox Mini.
Yep. And they'll probably move a lot of those too, I'm sure.
So, getting to the point where you're going to have 2 Xbox consoles mainline as Xbox Line products. Durango launches. It will not support backwards compatibility. And see, this is where I was saying that they're contradicting each other. All right. Connect 2.0. A different department within Xbox handles the Connect hardware and software. So the people who are working on the Xbox hardware aren't the people who are working on the Connect hardware. You know, it's two separate teams doing the damn thing. The focus was more on developing and networking the consoles with Kinect and keeping it as more of an afterthought rather than dealing with it and trying to make it part of the main console hardware and making it a giant headache for everybody.
Gotcha, yeah. From what I understand, right, Kinect's going to be built in supposedly to the Durango, right?
Well, either built into it or it would be bundled with it.
Bundled with it, okay.
All right, then moving on, Microsoft in talks to revive the Heroes TV show. I never watched it personally, although I know some people who have. I know you said that you saw one episode of it. So, I mean, is it meant for more of like a younger audience?
That's what I was assuming. Like it was just being re-released.
Sort of like a Twilight type of deal, or?
I wouldn't be surprised if they went that way.
Really?
I wouldn't, because it would sell.
Probably would.
It'd be heartthrobs.
Oh, yeah. Chicks would be all over it.
Yeah.
That's a way to reel in the chicks to the new Xbox.
Put a chin on it.
Just get that new Twilight movie up there and you're in. All right, so FIFA 14 announced by EA.
Uh-oh.
That'll be coming to PS3, PC, and Xbox 360. Chances of it coming to next-gen consoles are good as well. Mm-hmm. They're refining the EA Sports Soccer formula by adding the pure shot shooting. So that players have the intelligence to adjust the stride and approach of the angle to get the best position for hitting to the back of the net. So that's going to be a new feature. New improvements also include protect the ball that lets players defend while dribbling, and then teammate intelligence, which is self-explanatory, and sprint dribble turns, which allow for extra maneuverability while sprinting, and the variable dribble touch, which adds finer control to the dribbling itself.
That game is really complicated.
Sounds like they're getting pretty in-depth with it for sure.
And I know soccer fans are going to love it, but when I play it, I am just lost.
Lastly, they're adding a new global scouting network, which is a career mode that lets you build a network of professional scouts and raise them up through the ranks and what have you. And then so EA, while being on a roll, also announced NHL 14, which will be coming out September 10th, which, by the way, we don't have a concrete date for FIFA 14 yet, but NHL 14, that'll be September 10th in North America, September 13th in Europe. NHL 14 is coming to North America, blah, 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 blah. Being developed by EA's Vancouver studio. It brings a brand new hockey experience with NHL collision physics, which is based on the player impact engine used in their FIFA games, and also the Enforcer engine, which is based on the fighting engine that they're using in their Fight Night games. So you'll have a little bit of a touch of FIFA in the gameplay, and a little bit of the touch of Fight Night when you get into the all-out fist fights while playing hockey.
Man.
So I mean, that actually sounds like a good thing, because FIFA's a great game, Fight Night's a great game. Bringing those aspects into the NHL experience, it sounds like a win to me. Although J Ray's not here, and I personally haven't played any sports games in a while, so yeah, it'll be a wait and see thing for me. When J Ray gets back on the next show, or if he makes it tonight in time, then he can tell you more about that. Injustice, which just came out this past week, has been getting pretty good reviews so far from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I know you are interested in picking it up.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see one of the characters that we know so far is going to be Lobo. That was announced by Ed Boon. Yeah, the new DLC will be available when we don't quite know yet. But it will retail for around 400 Microsoft points, but it will be free for the Season Pass holders, of course. Lobo is described by Boone as a brawler, but a really fast brawler, and is a ranged character that fights with his chains. That almost sounds like he might be like Ghost Rider or something.
Yeah, judging by the picture I saw him, he almost looked like a Dr. Doom or something.
Was he gray?
Yeah, he had like a mask on.
Which
yeah, it kind of reminded me of like a Dr. Doom looking mask. Now, rumor has it that it's going to be pretty much the same thing that they did with Mortal Kombat. It'll be 4 DLC characters.
Oh yeah.
They'll retail for 400 points apiece, I think, and then that'll be the bottom line. So, as you know, in Mortal Kombat, they had 4 characters, 3 of which were old Mortal Kombat characters, and the 4th was Freddy Krueger.
Sure.
So no word on if they're going to have like a special character this time or if they're just going to stick with the Mortal Kombat DC thing. My guess is since they already have 2 franchises to work with, they should have no problem finding 4 characters.
That's true. They shouldn't.
To bring to it, but then again, you never know. But yeah, so definitely looking forward to seeing that. I've only played the demo of Injustice yet, so hopefully once you pick it up, I'll be able to give it a playthrough and see what it's all about.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'll probably wait until it drops down about $20 and scoop that bad boy up for $40. Forza Horizon got some free DLC this past week as well.
Surprisingly a lot from what you were telling me.
Yeah, I actually had saw this article that was telling me about the new Forza Horizon DLC, the 1000 challenges or the 1000 Club free DLC pack. So I went up there to download that, and I realized that there was a bunch of other free cars that had already been released that were up there to download. It was like a good 6 or 7, maybe even 8 of them.
Yeah, you listed them off. It was quite a bit.
They're all available for download singly. So if you want this car but don't want that car, you could possibly. I just went ahead and downloaded all of them. They were free. What the hell? Might as well. So I downloaded them all. So the 1000 Challenge Club thing, it adds like these challenges for each car in the game. And if you get certain challenges, that'll unlock achievements. It brings this DLC adds another 250 gamer score to the game, and that'll be for cars that were already in the game, and also for some of the DLC cars as well.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be able to get the most out of all your cars. Minecraft Xbox 360 edition, we said recently was going to be coming to retail in August. That's now been delayed until June 4th. Or no, originally said it was coming in April, I'm sorry. Yeah. And now that's been delayed till June 4th. No real word on if it was because of anything in particular, but Major Nelson says that it was delayed to include the latest content, which I'm assuming is the Void patch, which added the Ender Dragon and all that in there. They probably needed some extra time to get that all together. Bada boom. Bethesda came out this week and announced The Evil Within, which is a new survival horror game from the original creator of the Resident Evil series.
So, this is the first I've heard of this.
Yeah, same with me. The logo is crazy looking. It was like a brain with like barbed wire wrapped around it, and said The Evil Within and like some crazy slasher hand, some writing on there. I haven't seen any screenshots or anything like that, but just the fact that Bethesda's behind them, and that's the original creator of Resident Evil. It sounds like it's got a lot of potential there. It really just all depends on who they have working on that team with them. Yeah. What kind of talent they have there. Hopefully, it'll be something nice because the survival horror genre's kind of been falling off lately.
It's been kind of saturated.
Yeah, it has. First with Resident Evil 6, which had went way more action and a lot less survival horror. And then we had Dead Space 3, which was still a little bit survival horror, but you could tell that they're really going in an action series with direction with that series too. So traditional survival horror games have kind of got pushed to the wayside because I guess they're maybe a little bit too difficult for your average gamer these days.
They can't count their ammo.
Everybody wants these super easy modes now, and it's really kind of taken away from some games.
It is. I mean, developers now are developing around us, not developing what they want to develop.
Exactly, and that's the problem because the publishers are controlling the market, and they're pressuring these developers to make these ultra accessible games titles, that everybody's going to want to play, and it's kind of a trade-off between that and creativity. So we're kind of losing some of the creativity along the way in making that compromise. So hopefully this next generation, with the rise of the indie market and the rise of the indie developers being able to make all these new games, whether it be on Windows 8 or on any of the other consoles, that we'll see creativity back on track again. Yeah. Indie developers leading the way for this next generation.
It'd be nice. Get some good game ideas out there.
That's what I'm hoping. So we had the DC characters and Injustice, and now Marvel taking a turn with Deadpool coming on June 25th. Now, this isn't a fighting game. This is like a action-adventure game coming from High Moon Studios over at Activision Publishing. That'll be for PS3, Xbox, and PC on June 25th. There's GameStop and Amazon are both offering pre-order bonuses. Amazon's only offering a $5 credit towards a Marvel graphic novel and an exclusive digital wallpaper, whereas GameStop is offering the My Merc with a Map Pack DLC adds 2 new maps, the GRT Plaza and the Inside the Tower map to the Deadpool challenge mode, as well as 2 bonus costumes, the Deadpool and the Uncanny X-Force suits, only for use in the unlockable Infinite mode, where your stats are tracked on a global leaderboard. That to me sounds a lot better than a $5 credit towards a graphic novel.
I'd say so, yeah.
And they're also offering an exclusive digital wallpaper for Power Up Rewards members.
Yeah, they got them beat, don't they?
Yeah, and, gotta love those digital wallpapers. So with that, moving on, Skyrim
1.9 update
just came out, patched a lot of things. Getting that final polish on the game. Hopefully what they're hoping will be the final polish. But it also added a little thing called a legendary difficulty and a legendary skill system, which makes it so that once you reach level 100, you can actually roll back that skill back to level 15 and keep on moving.
Yeah,
so
I feel like you're still progressing.
Yeah, so that way they're saying that effectively gets rid of the level cap, because a lot of people had already maxed out all their stats and were complaining. So there you go. Speaking of Skyrim, Bethesda has said they are done with Skyrim DLC. Unfortunately, it's had a good run, but they're ready to move on to the next project, and they will continue to support the game with title updates as needed. But there's not going to be any more expansions coming to the game.
Yeah.
And also, I had spotted a news article that was rumoring a legendary edition of Skyrim that'll possibly and most likely be coming to retailers soon, which will pretty much be Skyrim. It'll be 2 discs. You'll have Skyrim on 1 disc, and on the second disc, you'll have all the DLC that's come out for it. So sort of like those Game of the Year Ultimate Editions that they do on a lot of other games. That's what we're looking at here.
Lost Planet 3 delayed until August. At a Capcom press release, Capcom announced a delay of Lost Planet 3. According to the announcement, Lost Planet 3 is now due August 27th in North America and August 30th in Europe for PlayStation 3, Xbox, and PC. I don't know, I never really played that game. The first 2, at least.
I played the first one, and it was kind of like Halo a little bit. It was like Halo mixed with Gears of War. Like if you took the 2 and merged them together.
Really? Okay.
Then that's kind of what you had. Like it was a third-person shooting action, kind of like Gears, but the setting and the characters was more like a Halo type environment. The second one was a lot more hardcore than the first one. There was a lot more co-op to it. There was like, you could have at least 4 people in a party at a time, if not more. It might have been like 6. And there was like these giant boss battles that you would get together, and you would want to be in a party with like a full party of like 4 to 6 people to take down these giant bosses. Solomon played it a lot. He loved it. Mainly because you could unlock Marcus Phoenix and Dom.
That's what I thought. I heard about that.
From Gears of War on there. So he played through the whole campaign, and just so he could unlock Marcus and Dom on there, and then would go online playing the multiplayer on there as Marcus and Dom. And he did that for the longest time. So evidently it was a good game, although I personally never played the second one. I just watched him play it. State of Decay, that's coming in June, and word is that that's going to be one of the Summer of Arcade games, but that's not confirmed. But it is confirmed this will be coming in June, and this is a open world zombies survival horror action game. All the screenshots I've seen look phenomenal. You'll be able to set up barricades and build like forts or whatnot during the day, and you'll be able to recruit other survivors, and it just looks really cool. It's almost like what the Walking Dead Survival Instinct game was trying to do, but 1,000 times better.
Oh, gotcha.
And for arcade at a third or a fraction of the price.
Well, that's one to look for.
Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon and Flashback, both coming to Xbox Live Arcade. Ubisoft went ahead and announced both of these recently, about a week ago, in a little press release they had. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon looks insane. Now this isn't a retail release. This is going to be an arcade release.
Yeah.
So the campaign probably won't be as long as the regular Far Cry 3, but graphically it looked just as good, if not better, I thought.
The lighting and just the colors they use alone, just to articulate the vibe of the 80s, was pretty good.
All kinds of like lightning and like a lot of like an 80s rock and roll type of feel to it.
Yeah, like a heavy metal, heavy metal kind of vibe.
Yeah, that's definitely what I got from it watching the trailer. It looks phenomenal. Let's see, the official press release says Blood Dragon lets players get the girl, kill the bad guys, and save the world in a VHS-era vision of the future. As Sergeant Rex Colt, you are part man, part machine, all-American. Yeah, you are a state-of-the-art Mark IV cyber commando on a mission of vengeance. You must bring down your old commanding officer and his battalion of ruthless cyber thugs, and you'll stop at nothing to get the job done. Hollywood action icon Michael Biehn from the Terminator Aliens in the Abyss returns in this explosive 1980s style sci-fi vision of a dark future. Turn off your VCR, plug in your video game cabinet, and get ready to experience all the thrills of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon coming May 1st, 2013. On Xbox 360, PS3, and PC.
Oh.
Players will definitely be enjoying that. Flashback, it was the other game they announced. This is actually an older game that they're doing a remake of. I personally do not remember Flashback. Probably never played it.
I never played it, but I remember seeing it.
Well, do you know what kind of game it was?
Back when this is the one I'm thinking of. When it came out, it was revolutionary just for the fact of the way it told the story. It actually had like in-game cinematics, like imagine like the Super Nintendo FX chip,
right?
But the graphics were similar like that, but
sort of like how Square used to do with the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah,
It'd be like,
but it was still 2D scroller.
Crappy graphics, and then all of a sudden they do like a cutscene with like some CGI.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah,
I got you.
I think it was for the PC too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it said here. They're redoing in 3D and HD. Updated for the new millennium by its original creator for a new generation of players. Helped to define the sci-fi action adventure games. Let's see, this is another mission to save from aliens. Conrad is back to save humanity from an invasion of alien morphs set on absorbing our minds and incorporating our species. Rolling and shooting, always ready for another fight, help Conrad save the world and his girlfriend. Oh, Jane.
The girl.
So, no word on when that one will be coming, but my guess is it wouldn't be too far from the May 1st release date of Far Cry.
Yeah.
Maybe a month before or a month after, at most. Boom. Rayman Legends was originally it was already supposed to be out on Wii U, but then Ubisoft saw that Wii U ain't selling so well, and they weren't going to be able to sell but so many copies of Rayman on just the Wii, so they decided to make it a multi-platform release, and to do that they needed more time. Naturally, your Nintendo fanboys got upset because they don't have they have next to no good games on Wii U right now. Everybody was really looking forward to Rayman. It was a big letdown seeing it pushed back. I can understand that. But me being a 360 guy, I'm glad it was.
Yeah.
And now the Nintendo fanboys might even be happy too, because of this pushback, the developer said that they're adding 30 more levels and several new boss fights to the game along with this pushback of the game to try and make the wait worth it.
Yeah, give them some for the buck.
So that's definitely awesome, and if it's anything like Rayman Origins, I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. XCOM, the shooter. A lot of people, when they first announced it, people were like, "Man, that's not XCOM. XCOM wasn't a first-person shooter." And so, people got into stinks. So they're like, "All right, well, we'll make two XCOM games." And they went ahead and did the XCOM Enemy Unknown, which was like the traditional XCOM, and kept this one in development. Well, just recently, this past week, all of the trailers for the game started disappearing off the developers' websites and YouTube accounts, which led to speculation. Has the game been canceled? But now rumors are saying that it's most likely that they've decided not to name the game XCOM now, that they're going with a different name.
Kind of give it its own identity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's all it is, because from what I saw of the screenshots, it looked really awesome to me.
Yeah.
It looked almost like a BioShock style graphics, art style, and it was just looking really phenomenal from what I saw. So I'm definitely hoping that it's still in development somehow, somewhere, just under a new name. All right, and then for Gears fans like me and yourself, we got that Call to Arms map pack coming April 23rd, which it'll probably already be out by the time you hear this.
Yeah.
Or if not, it'll be coming out that day or the day after. Microsoft has announced the Call to Arms pack exclusive for Gears of War Judgment on the Xbox 360. This will include 3 new maps, a new multiplayer mode, and 6 new armor and weapon skins. Alright, so first, the multiplayer mode. You've got Master at Arms, which is a free-for-all mode, which I guess has everybody starting out with the pistol.
Yeah.
And then once you get a kill with that, you move up to the next gun, and once you've gotten 1 kill with all 20 of the Gears of War guns, then you win the game. And it's all about who can get to 20 kills first.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, how popular that's going to be. Me personally, I'm not a free-for-all guy, not even in Call of Duty, and it's fun on there.
Yeah.
Whereas, Gears was never really made for free-for-all,
No.
so it just doesn't feel natural there. Even just a regular old free-for-all, it just doesn't feel natural to me in Gears. So I played 1 or 2 matches since it came out. I mainly stick to Team Deathmatch and Overrun myself. Speaking of which, 2 of the maps will be normal multiplayer maps, and 1 of them will be an Overrun map.
No.
On the Overrun side, we've got Terminal, which is like a train station.
Yeah, like a subway.
Which looked really cool. I thought artistically it looked way better than the ones that they already have on disc.
They put a lot more time, it looks, into it, detail in it.
Definitely, and you could see all the barriers around when they were doing like a fly-through. As a matter of fact, IGN has fly-through videos of all 3 of the new maps up there right now, so if you're interested, you can check those out on IGN. The other 2 maps, Blood Drive, which is a classic, great map from Gears of War 2 and 3, now making its way to Judgment, albeit they've expanded the hallways and made new paths through the map, so they've actually made the map bigger.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool to know that we're just not getting like a rehash of the same old map, that they actually did some work to it. And then lastly, Boneyard, not to be confused with Old Bones from Gears of War 1. This is a whole new map that will be coming out alongside Blood Drive and Terminal. And no word on what the gun or armor skins will be or what they'll be called, but they'll be there. This will be costing 1,000 Microsoft points for your average consumer, or free if you have the season pass or the VIP pass.
Yes.
Which I do. And the VIP pass is only 1,600 points, and if these map packs are going to be 1,000 points apiece, that's 3,000 points.
Yeah, so you'd be saving.
Damn near half.
Just do what we did and buy it. It's worth it.
Yeah, because not only are you getting all 3 map packs at like half off, you're also getting double XP, which is...
That is true, and it helps.
And it also comes with the male and female Onyx Guard characters.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And a couple of armor and gun skins right out of the... as soon as you put that code in, they're automatically unlocked. So it's a really good deal, I think.
It is, yeah. What do we have? Batman Arkham Origins revealed.
Yep, last news article of the week. Everybody liked Batman Arkham Asylum. Everybody liked Batman Arkham City even more.
Yeah.
So naturally, got to do a prequel.
They got to.
Batman Arkham Origins. Now, unfortunately, this one's not being done by Rocksteady.
Oh. No.
Who did the last 2 Batmans?
Yeah.
This is being done.
WB Montreal.
Yeah. Which makes me worried. But at the same time, supposedly all the assets, all the development kit, all the stuff they used to make the last 2 Batman games at Rocksteady has been handed over to WB Games Montreal. So they've pretty much already got the tools there. They just gotta kind of put the pieces into place.
Well, let's hope they do. Let's hope they get a story good.
That's what I'm hoping. All right, so Jerry's not here, so we'll save the BioShock Infinite talk for next. Black Ops 2. Me and you got down. I haven't played the multiplayer maps yet.
Okay.
But I have played Mob of the Dead, and you've played Mob of the Dead. So what were your thoughts on it?
It's one of my favorite. It's actually made me want to go back and keep playing zombies. I like that. It's a good map. I like how the choke points now are longer. I feel like they are, so that when you get in tight situations, especially with the Tommy gun, you can just mow them down.
Yeah.
And
just let them come on down the hallway.
Yeah. And when we were playing that big zombie guard with the nightstick,
right?
That thing was at level 5. It hits all the time.
Yeah. I think it is level 5. That dude's hard, man.
He's ridiculously hard.
At least with only 2 people, he is.
Yeah. No matter how much you try to run around and juke him.
But they've also added some cool mechanics to zombies with this one. First of all, you can revive yourself
in your spirit mode.
Yeah, like when you die, you'll be you'll still be alive in this spirit mode where you can float around, and while you're a spirit, you can shock stuff.
Yeah,
which is also another cool thing they've added. In the other zombie maps, you had to find your way to one point on the map to turn the power on.
Yeah, but now you can. I like how they incorporated it like a new game function.
Yeah, pretty much.
Puzzle solving.
Yeah, pretty much everything has its own power source, and as long as you can get to the afterlife or the ghost mode, then you can shock stuff and put power to it, and that's how you get the power on in this one, which I think is way more better than the old way.
It is, because I used to hate the mad dash for the generator.
Yeah,
it was just ridiculous.
It was. So that's new. Being able to go to the afterlife is new. You can revive yourself or your partner while you're in afterlife.
That's true, but you only do it for a limited time. Like you have only
there's there's this blue eyeball icon at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
and it slowly fades away as you're a ghost. And I noticed that when you shock, it goes down even faster.
I figured it did. Yeah.
So you got to kind of keep an eye on that, because if you don't revive yourself by the time that runs out, then you're gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Trying to think. They also added a new gun, which is you haven't seen yet, but it's a shotgun with 4 barrels.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
I swear the thing's got like chains hanging off of it, like maybe even a skull up on that puppy. It is just the most badass shotgun I've ever seen in a video game. Period.
I remember you telling me it looked like. When you described it, it reminded me of something else. Remember that game Hellgate for PC?
Yeah, I mean,
it reminded me of something that
we're talking just a second ago with Blood Dragon. We were talking 80s heavy metal type of deal.
Oh yeah,
that's what that gun reminds me of.
Really?
Like something you would have seen on like a rocket, like a straight up heavy metal album cover with a big 4-barreled shotgun on the front with chains hanging off of it. It is just a really badass gun. And of course the traditional alien gun, the little zapper that kills the guys. That's still on there. That's another thing. The mystery boxes and the other zombie modes, it would be in one spot, and you would go there and you would use it up until it disappeared, and then you would go to the next spot. Well, in this one, it just kind of randomly appears at random times in different places. So if you see, a rectangle question spot on the ground and the box isn't there, if you can hang around long enough without dying, the box will eventually appear there next to you, and you can try and get something out of the box before it goes to the next location, which I think is also an improvement as well.
Yeah, I think they probably did that to balance out the fact of the electricity. Because the ghost mode, I think it kind of, you feel more empowered when you play. You know what I mean? You don't feel so...
Yeah.
Because when you shock as a ghost, I mean, it takes them out.
Yeah, it does. And it kind of makes the game a little bit easier in a way, so it's not so hardcore. And I know we were just talking about how games were making it so too easy these days. Yeah. But I mean, Zombies has just been a little bit ridiculously easy. Not ridiculously easy, ridiculously hard at times.
You almost to the point where you needed 4 people to play.
Right.
You didn't have 4 people, you just might as well turn it off.
And I've always wanted Zombies to be a mode that could be fun to play by yourself or with one other friend. And Mob of the Dead kind of brings that to the table, I think.
It does. Yeah, I think they really polished it out. All the things they wanted to incorporate, they did.
Not to mention the setting of Alcatraz is a really great setting.
Good setting, yeah, definitely.
The characters, Ray Liotta, Mike Madison, I forgot the other 2 guys, but really, really great, well-known characters.
Yeah, dropping good lines.
They were actually really funny lines, especially Ray Liotta. He was dropping some great one-liners, talking about that he was going to use the freak teeth for bullets and whatnot.
What was that about? I use the freak teeth for bullets.
Yeah, dude was wilding out, man. I think the Uprising map pack, what I've played of it so far, like I said, is good, but I've only played the zombies. I'll get into the multiplayer and play some domination or team deathmatch on those maps. This coming week, and have that for y'all on the next episode. Mass Effect 3 I've been playing through the last 2 weekends.
Yeah, he has.
Like nonstop. I'm still playing because I wanted to play through from beginning to end with all the DLC. I played the Leviathan DLC. That was a great DLC where you're trying to uncover the story of the Leviathans, which, spoiler alert, the Leviathans were actually a species that existed before the Reapers, and they were actually the creators of the Reapers.
Oh, okay.
They created the Reapers to harvest life and keep things in balance while they stayed dominant over the whole galaxy, but it actually backfired because the Reapers turned on them and harvested them as well. And thus the whole bad harvesting cycle began. Damn. So it was kind of cool to learn the origins and things like that. With that, the second DLC was the Omega DLC, which is when you're trying to help Arya T. Loke take back Omega. As many people know, she is the badass female Asari gang leader who runs Omega in the first and second Mass Effect. In the third Mass Effect, Omega's been taken over by Cerberus. And you are on a mission with her to straight up infiltrate Omega and take that shit back. And it's really awesome. You also get to see a female Turian for the first time, which I thought was really cool.
Wow,
because through all three of the Mass Effects, I had never seen a female Turian before. Yeah. That was really cool. And there's a lot of moral choices in the Omega DLC that really make you think. I thought that was cool. And then lastly, the Citadel DLC, which I'm still doing part of it, but I've done the main storyline of it, which is Commander Shepard battling essentially his doppelganger. The story goes, at Mass Effect 2, you were resurrected by Cerberus because you get into an accident at the beginning of Mass Effect 2 and essentially are almost dead, and Cerberus rescues you, revives you, repairs you, get you back, to ship shape. But they weren't sure if they were going to need any spare Shepard organs. So what they did was they took a little DNA and made a clone of you.
Man.
Well, turns out since you were fine, they didn't need any parts from him. They had no use for him, so they just cut him loose, and he's wreaking havoc on the galaxy, and you didn't even know until now.
Wow.
So he's essentially trying to take you down, and you're trying to take him down. He wants to steal the Normandy. You want the Normandy. It's a really funny DLC. I mean, the dialogue is hilarious the entire way through. Like, all of your squad mates are joking on Shepard for having like a doppelganger, and they're just like, I don't know. I can't even describe the jokes, but they're hilarious. And after you do that and take him down, I won't tell you how. And there's actually a little plot twist, a little betrayal in there. I won't tell you who or what either about that. But after you finish the main storyline, you're able to go back to the apartment, hang out with your squad mates, and then you even have the option to throw a party. Whereas you go to the Citadel, you buy some supplies for the party, set up all the decorations, and then you get on the phone and make the call, and everybody that you've ever had in your party in Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3 shows up, and you have yourself a party. And that's where I'm at. I haven't had the party yet. I'm about to buy the party supplies, and that's where I'm at. But from what I hear, it's really awesome and hilarious, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of dialogue to come up with in that. And after that, I'll be on the home stretch to take down those Reapers and see what that extended cut DLC is all about.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So looking forward to that as well. But like I said, I hope to finish that up this weekend. If not, I'll finish it during the week this week while I'm working, so that next weekend I can, devote it to something else. And lastly, hell yeah, Wrath of the Dead Rabbit was on sale this past week for 480 points, down from 1,200, which was deal.
That's a good deal.
So I went ahead and downloaded it, and it's actually a really cool little platformer. You start out on foot, and then you get like this chainsaw blade thing that you ride around in.
Yeah.
And you just mow over enemies, and then you get like a missile launcher, and you can shoot missiles at enemies. It's just fun to play.
It is. Imagine cutie graphics with just a demented personality.
Yeah, and the graphic style is funny too.
It is, yeah.
Really, for 480 points, it's a must-buy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. I didn't buy it, but I played the demo. And no, it's a pretty good game. I definitely recommend it.
For 1,200, I would say it's worth it, but I think it would have been more worth it at 800.
Yeah.
Rather than 1,200. But I mean, it like I said, it's a great game. It's still worth it at 1,200. It's just would have been better priced at 800.
Yeah. And it's made by Sega.
Yep. Like I said, I haven't played through it far enough to frag it or anything, but I think it's definitely
first impression.
Yeah, definitely at least worth checking out the trial if you're even remotely interested in it. And with that, that's all I've got for this week. No other reviews. Like I said, J-Ray had a baseball game tonight, so hopefully we'll be able to have a longer show for you next week. But we've enjoyed it, and we will catch y'all next time.
Frag Attack Radio.